Hey, you're just in time. I finally got lights. You can see my face now. That's what that looks like. Drink that in. Welcome to Just in Time. Another Wednesday has come, and Jesus, what a week it was. Huh? Not really, it was kind of boring. Before we actually dive in, I want to say a gigantic thank you to everyone who's commented on my videos. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It really means a lot to me. It really helps kind of drive me to make the next video once I see everyone posting. So please keep the posts coming. You can find me Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram, other things that haven't been invented yet. I'll invent them. You probably won't invent them. If it looks like I'm in a really good mood today, it's because I am. My family came up from the Quad Cities. Where's the Quad Cities? It's right here. My sister wanted to see the Museum of Science and Industry, so they went off and saw the Museum of Science and Industry. Then we met up at the Hard Rock Cafe, again my sister's choice. I see a theme here. Then we got to go around the city just a little bit. I got to hang out with them. I don't get to see them that often, so it really makes me happy when they come up. If you're wondering where I get my rugged good looks, it's from them. That is a handsome bunch of people. A lot of friends and family that don't live in Chicago ask me, what's it like to live in the city and take the CTA? I have probably the worst luck riding the CTA out of anyone in Chicago. If something's going to go wrong or a weird person's going to be on the CTA, they're going to be traveling when I'm traveling and they're going to be on my train. That's just a fact. So I thought it'd be fun to share some of my experiences riding the CTA. This is a new segment I like to call Just in Time Presents Stories from the CTA. I was going down to meet my wife and my friends Doug and Jill at a Sox game. So I got on the red line and everything was going normal, which is how it usually starts out before it goes south, which is what I was going, south. This story's got substance behind it. And I get all the way down to the Roosevelt stop on the red line. You got about 2 or 3 more stops till you actually hit your location. So I was right there. I was so close. And the train is just packed and just people just sweating all over you. And the conductor gets on and says, ladies and gentlemen, this train is going to be running express. It's going to go from the point that they announce it to another point and skip a bunch of stops in between. I wasn't going to ride it all the way down and then all the way back. So I figured I'll just get off at Roosevelt, take a few more minutes, and I'll wait for the next train to come. Everyone started filing out, and there's this huge push towards these little doors. 2 women decided it was time to go out at the exact same time. One of them pushing a stroller and carrying some beach equipment, and the other one was just by herself and she was in a pissy mood. The woman with the stroller thought she would go first, so she started to move, apparently running over the foot of the woman who was in the pissy mood. Well, the woman in the pissy mood, being in the pissy mood that she was in, decided that she wasn't going to take this, so she came out, got right up in the face of the other woman and said, "You just rolled over my foot, bitch!" Well, the woman with the stroller didn't take too kindly to this, so she, with the child still in the stroller, turned her back on the child with the stroller and proceeded to say, "So?" Well, this just set the tone for what was about to happen. One woman's going,
"You motherfucker, you little you ran off my foot and I don't appreciate this."
And the other woman was like,
"My daughter's right here, you don't talk to my daughter that way."
And they're just going back and forth at each other. All the while, people are still filing out. They're standing right next to the door, so A, people can't get out, and B, the conductor's like, "I gotta close the doors and take this train express. Can't close the doors with you guys standing right there." Let me remind you, the little girl in the stroller, still sitting right there, mom's back's to her. Anything could have happened. Could have gotten pushed back on the train, could have gotten pushed on the tracks, could have just gotten taken away. But no, this personal vendetta was way more important. This escalates to a point where they're now nose to nose, and you know it's about to go down. So the woman in the pissy attitude gets real close and actually pushes the woman. The woman with all the beach paraphernalia raises, and I kid you not, a inflatable dolphin. That's right. She raises this thing high above her head and just starts beating the shit out of the other woman. And then they just get into this slap fest, and they're pushing and tugging on each other's hair, and it's getting pushed back to the train. And again, let me remind you, the daughter is still in the stroller, and this scuffle's going on. What kind of parenting is this? Well, everyone around them gets divided. Half of them are just, woo, yeah, taking out their cell phones, taking pictures. At the time, I didn't think to do that. Looking back on it, wish to God I did. And the other half of the people are trying to break these two up. One person actually takes the daughter, moves her about 3 feet over so she doesn't get jacked up by this train, and so the conductor can finally close the doors and take the train express like he'd been wanting to. Meanwhile, everyone is just standing there sweating, regardless of which side they're on. Finally, things start to dissipate. The mom turns around. She gets freaked because the daughter's been moved. Turns back around. The guy's like, "Hey, I put her right here." So she grabs the child. She's like, "Bitch," and she just walks off. The other girl's like, "Fuck you," and she just walks off, and everyone just starts applauding. About 15 minutes later, the next train came, everyone piles back on, those two excluded, and we end up sweating and making it to the park. Great Sox game. So that's my crazy CTA story. I would love to hear in the comment section below what your craziest CTA story is, or what's your craziest public transportation story. And most importantly, don't forget LSCS, or like, subscribe, comment, and share. See you next Wednesday. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. Lights on, this is fun. Lights off.